few words.
This is going to make Pramod.
Yeah, tell me, like, how does it feel for this book to be launched?
Well, it's great. I mean, it wasn't an easy book to do because, as I mentioned in my address earlier in the evening, that um, Arvind Singh ji had given us a very unusual deadline, and when he gave this book to us, he said, "Look, I'm giving you a deadline which no one would give you, that you produce this book before Maharaj Prem dies." And he was really on his deathbed. You know, at that time, both his legs were amputated. So we did our very best. Everybody has appreciated the book, and it's just a deep regret, as I said, is that we were late by a few hours. That when I called him and I said, I'm going to courier this copy to you, he said, look, this morning he passed away. So that is the big regret with which, but otherwise a very satisfying experience. And as I said, we had such wealth of material. This was a material spanning over 50, 60 years, with some handwritten letters by some of the greatest polo players from England and from Argentina and USA. And there were these newspaper clippings which were 40, 50 years old. And to feel them and to touch them and to live with them in the office was a terrific experience. I mean, it was really like touching things that were meant for maestros, were meant for really legends. And so we tried our very best to match our quality with the legend that was the subject of our book. And as I said, we tried our best. So.
And what do you think, like, this book has a relevance in the cultures and times of our, today?
Well, in the sense that it is for polo fraternity. So I think polo fraternity, like cricket, it lives in nostalgia, and I think that is how we treated the book. If you ask a polo player, plenty of them are present here, who would tell you that how emotionally attached he feels to the book. Obviously, if you're not a polo follower, it will only tell you. It'll describe a certain time, and we're trying a certain period and certain things which are related to polo. But there are other things about the ground and about how the horses were bred and that kind of thing. So that way, I guess some people outside can get some insight into the period, into that period of history. But I think it is essentially a book for polo enthusiasts. Really.
All right. How do you feel, though, that the book is launched today? I mean, how does it make you feel as a person?
I think I'm very emotional today because it's a great day in many ways, and not so great because Maharaj Sahib is not here. And as Maharaj Sahib used to say during his lifetime, that his real family is, or rather his extended family, is the polo players of this world. So a person who had that kind of a vision and that kind of a aura about him, who thought every member who was a polo player was very much part of his family, which is what it is today. And I think wherever he is, and I'm sure he'd know that his mission, his zeal in life is being carried forward, and that is what, as far as I'm concerned, is a great satisfaction to me.
And I hear that besides this book, you're doing a lot of other nice things, like your trust, and can you just tell us more about what your activities are these days?
Well, we have a lot of public charitable trusts through which we try to take up works which do not have a great commercial value but have good permanent historical or any other cultural value. And since there isn't a commercial market, there's a publisher who's going to publish that work. And we obviously can't do everything that comes our way, but if there is some work of such excellence, we try and help out authors and who are trying to publish, and they do not find a commercial publisher for their works.
Like, I mean, I also believe that you're promoting, I also believe you're promoting excellence in several areas, like, promoting people with good causes and.
Yes, we have an annual award function where we do, because our theme is that if we inculcate those values, and how do you inculcate those values? So if it boils down to education and people trying to copy things which are easy to do, and we feel that if excellence in any field, whatever it might be, whether it's creative writing or sport or whatever it might be, if we set those standards, and then the young people are always trying to emulate, and we feel it's our job to spread this spirit of excellence.
And what does polo mean to you?
Well, polo is more than just a sport. It's a passion, it's a game, it's a way of life, and in totality, I think the satisfaction that you get out of it is tremendous. To me and to a lot of people present here today who are followers of this game, I think it means a life in itself. I mean,